Hey there, Detroit sports fanatics. I'm Taylor Phillips, and welcome to Taylor's Detroit Sports on Spreaker. You can also find this and all other episodes of Taylor's Detroit Sports on iHeartRadio. Straight and full Detroit and Michigan sports coverage 100% of the time. If you have any opinions on everything that's going on in the Detroit sports world, call in or send a text message live on the show at 231-429-3668. Also, you can add me on Facebook as Taylor Phillips, online at facebook.com/TaylorGatorPhillips14. Like my Facebook page, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports page. Join my Facebook group, Taylor Phillips' Detroit Sports Group. And follow me on Twitter at DT2Phillips with 2 L's.
And welcome to episode 138 on Taylor's Detroit Sports on Spreaker and iHeartRadio. Got another jam-packed show here tonight. Just try to fit in everything Detroit sports that I can. I will talk about the Red Wings shootout loss, a lot about it, to the Winnipeg Jets at the Joe Saturday. Jets struck first, 1-0. Then the Red Wings scored 3 goals to take a 3-1 lead. It was tied at 1 after 1. The Jets came back with three goals. The two of them to tie it up at 3 after 2 periods, and then one to take the lead 4-3 before Datsuk scored his second of the season, the second of the game. His first one snapped his 9-game goal scoring drought. Darren Helm got a goal and assist. Jimmy Howard was not rusty. He just performed poorly. One of the fans on the Detroit Red Wings Facebook photos commented that Howard was rusty.
To hear. What's your problem there, pal? Can't a guy get a bit of sleep? Don't bug me.
I also heard Mickey Redmond trolling the referees while watching the game.
He was somebody that was trolling.
Man. When is Mickey Redmond ever going to stop trolling the NHL referees? Maybe he's just too busy tracking down missed penalties and missed offside calls. one of the actually there were no missed offside calls. The one I saw the referees, the linesman catch was just barely held in. It didn't go across. It didn't go all the way across the blue line. Mickey Redmond still thought it was offsides.
Ah, shut up, you idiot! What? Oh.
That was in overtime. But Jimmy Howard did his thing and held on and helped his team get that game into a shootout. And Howard did better in the shootout until he muffed that one shot by Drew Stafford, who scored the only goal in the shootout in the fourth and final round. And none of the shooters deked to help Howard.
Well, I'm the best you've got.
If you want to be the best in the shootout as a shooter, you have to deke to score goals. And and Datsuk, Tatar, Nyquist, and didn't even deke. And then the fourth round, Mike Babcock put in Stephen Weiss, who was 9 of 39 in his career in shootouts. Joke. Stephen Weiss gave Michael Hutchinson an easy save. Now 9 for 40. Man. But the one thing that drives me crazy is the shooters not using their brains. This is yet another non-deking shootout joke.
Well, I'm the best you've got.
Ah, shut up, you idiot. What? Oh.
I'm just tired of seeing the shooters not deking in the shootout. The opposing goaltender can make easy saves if the shooters don't deke. But most importantly, Jimmy Howard's joke performance oh, he was rusty.
That's not what I want you here. What's your problem there, pal? Can't a guy get a bit of sleep? Don't bug me.
Jimmy Howard's joke performance giving up 4 goals, three of them which he definitely should have had. Not all four, but 3 of them. He should have easily stopped. Taking a shootout loss after giving up 4 goals, 3 of them soft, very soft, after stopping all 4 shots in Pittsburgh in the third period Wednesday. That is not what I call rustiness. So that leads us to a goaltending situation. Goaltending has been a concern right now, as of late. Mrazek giving up 4 goals in the first 2 periods against the Penguins in Pittsburgh at Consol Energy Center last week Wednesday. And then last night, Howard giving up 4 goals. Again, 3 of them which he should have easily saved. Pathetic. Pathetic. You know what the Red Wings should do? Most importantly, alternate goaltenders to start each game. First Mrazek, then Howard, then Mrazek and Howard, Mrazek, Howard, Mrazek, Howard, and so on and so forth. They both need work in. Jonas Gustafsson is still in Grand Rapids with the Griffins on his conditioning stint, as far as we all know right now. And I think Gustafsson needs to stay in GR. Howard and Mrazek should still stay in the NHL with the Wings in Detroit. And Howard's no longer young. Mrazek's plenty younger than that. If you want to chime in on this, give me a call or text message on an identical number, which is 231-429-3668. Again, that's 231-429-3668. If you text message, please give me your name and town. Call or text 231-429-3668. Talking Wings right now. So, a pro and a con each of Jimmy Howard already pointed out. The Red Wings play the Montreal Canadiens at Joe Louis Arena, Hockeytown, tomorrow at 7:30. The Canadiens lead the Eastern Conference. If you take a look at the standings. The Wings have now allowed 8 goals in their last 2 games. 4 by Mrazek and then the other 4 by Howard. The Red Wings need to tighten up. From Ansar Khan of MLive.com. Titled, Red Wings need to tighten up defensively with fast, stingy, conference-leading Canadiens in town. After allowing 8 goals in their past 2 games, the Wings need to tighten up, especially against a team that doesn't give up much. The Montreal Canadiens, who visit the Joe Monday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit and 97.1 The Ticket in Southfield in the greater Detroit area. The Canadians, the Habs, ranked first in the NHL in fewest goals allowed, 2.22 per game. The Red Wings also fare well in that category. They are tied for fifth in goals against, 2.43 per game. But losses to Pittsburgh 4-1 and Winnipeg 5-4 in a shootout revealed the work that needs to be done. Head coach Mike Babcock said, quote, "We've got to keep it out of our net. We can't give up so many goals. We've got to take care of the puck better," unquote. That means quit turning the darn puck over. Quit giving it away. Jimmy Howard will make his second straight start in goal after missing nearly 5 weeks with a groin injury. He wasn't sharp on a couple of goals against the Jets on Saturday, make it 3 in my opinion. But the Wings didn't manage the puck well. That's another issue that needs to be addressed. Babcock pointed out again, quote, "We had everything going our way early in the second period, and then we turned the puck over. It's hard to be organized when you turn the puck over. You have a team because you're playing good and you're on top of them. They don't look that quick, and then suddenly you turn the puck over and they look like they're ultra fast. So taking care of the puck is a big part of what we have to do right," unquote. Gustav Nyquist said, quote, "They did a good job of forechecking us and tracking us hard and creating those turnovers, but we're responsible for taking care of the puck. That's something we need to improve on for sure against Montreal," unquote. The Habs lead the East with 76 points and are 4 points ahead of the third-place Red Wings with 72 in the Atlantic Division. Babcock said, quote, about the Habs, quote, "They got one of the best goalies in the world, Carey Price. Their back end is good, active. They've got depth. They have depth up front. They scored the second fewest goals in the league on the road, 52 goals in 25 games, and they still find a way to win all the time. So they do it well, and they don't mind being in their zone. They don't mind being outshot. They just play. They wait for their chances. When they get chances, they score," unquote. The Canadians have won 4 straight against the Wings, including both meetings this season, 2-1 in overtime at Montreal and 4-1 in Detroit. Red Wings defenseman Nicholas Cronwall added, quote, "Lots and lots of speed. They got really good structure and they got a great goaltender, Carey Price. They got a deep team, which makes it hard on their opponents," unquote. Babcock changed his lines a bit in practice, playing Nyquist with Pavel Datsyuk and Darren Helm, using Tomas Tatar with Henrik Zetterberg and Justin Abdelkader. So Nyquist, Datsyuk, and Helm, the first line, Tatar, Zetterberg, and Abdelkader, the second line. He said he hadn't decided if he'll start the game that way, but it is a possibility. What Kahn meant was that those particular lines, those made-up lines, were a possibility for tomorrow. Gustav Nyquist also added, quote, "Helm is a hard-working guy who forechecks and wins pucks, wins face-offs, and wins pucks overall, not just face-offs. He just takes pucks away from opposing skaters. I think he's been outstanding here lately. Pav's the same as Henrik Zetterberg. You try to give him the puck as much as possible and get open. You know the stuff he does out there. You just try to create space for him and try to find an open spot," unquote. Three's a crowd in net. Peter Mrazek and Jonas Gustafsson alternated in one net during practice, which isn't an ideal situation for goaltenders who need work. Babcock said of that, quote, "We're in this situation right now where we've got to get one of those guys out of here because I don't want to have three goalies around." The rule book says you can't. The rule book, well, technically the rule book, the NHL rule book does not allow it, but we've got to figure that out. I'm sure General Manager Ken Holland and I will talk about that today. We need Howie to get back and playing the way he's capable of playing, and it's good for him to get some rubber, 38 shots on Saturday. But we know he's going to be way better than that. And Pete did a real good job. In saying that, Gus played great for us last year. He's just been hurt all year. Well, not all year, but mostly most of this season. Unquote. The Red Wings are likely to reassign Mrazek to the Griffins, rather than risk losing Gustafsson on waivers. I would rather put Gustafsson on waivers and keep Mrazek in the NHL with the Wings and Jimmy Howard. With Jimmy Howard and the Wings. Don't even bother with Gustafsson. Mrazek is ready. He's the now of Red Wings goaltending. He and Jimmy Howard are the now of Red Wings goaltending. Right now, they're in a slump. They're both better than they had been in Pittsburgh and at home against Winnipeg. Want to pass along a note of news here. Former NHL defenseman Steve Montador passed away today at age 35. He played for 6 teams, including the Buffalo Sabres, over 10 NHL seasons. He was found unconscious in his home in Mississauga, Ontario, written by Ansar Khan of MLive.com. According to reports, no cause of death has been determined, but police said no foul play was suspended. Weiss received a text message from a friend on the way to practice informing him of the news. Titles: Red Wings Stephen Weiss on Steve Montador, quote, "One of the most kind, generous guys in the game." Kindest, rather, unquote. Weiss said, quote, "It was very shocking. It really hasn't sunk in yet. Montador was one of the most kind, generous guys you've ever meet in the game. Great teammate. Really willing to do a lot of things in the community, wherever he was, with whatever team. He was one of my good buddies in the game for sure. I was close to Monty. I'm going to miss him." Unquote. Montador's final NHL season was in 2011-2012 when he played 52 games for the Chicago Blackhawks. He played 11 games in Russia for KHL club Zagreb Medveskak in 2013-2014. He was also plagued by concussions throughout his hockey career. He was plagued by concussions throughout his hockey career and revealed in 2013 that he battled depression. Weiss played with him, with Montador, from the 05-06 season to the 07-08 season with the Florida Panthers. For those 3 seasons. So a lot of mutual respect between Montador and Weiss in the past. Hopefully Weiss shows a little extra emotion the rest of the season when he plays with the Wings. Kind of like the same emotion Tomas Tatar has when he plays. That emotional motivation, the same kind of that Tomas Tatar had last season when his father passed away. I don't want to give any more Red Wings players such a hard time. So, anyway, the Michigan State Spartans, shifting to college basketball, pulled out an upset in thrilling fashion over the Ohio State Buckeyes, 59-56. Denzel Valentine with the game-winning shot, I believe. I want to take a look at the video of that shot. Yeah, it was a game-winning 3 by Denzel. With 1.9 seconds to go, Valentine finishes with 17 points on 5 of 9 shooting from 3-point range, giving the Spartans a 59-56 lead for good and the win over 23rd ranked Ohio State. Saturday, which most of the media and fans thought that if the Spartans were to beat Ohio State, they would have greater chances of entering the NCAA tournament, regardless whether they win the Big Ten tournament championship or not, whether they win the Big Ten regular season championship or not. The outright regular season title. Also, Central Michigan beat Buffalo 75-74 on a game-winning free throw. Eastern Michigan beat Akron 78-75. And Western Michigan going to the schedule. Western Michigan beat Northern Illinois 69-65. They're home against Ohio this Wednesday at 7. Back to hockey. Defenseman Cody Franson is no longer available for the Wings. The Predators just traded him. The Toronto Maple Leafs just traded him to the Predators for forward Mike Santorelli. Oh wait, what? I misread this again. The Maple Leafs traded defenseman Cody Franson and forward Mike Santorelli to the Predators for a 2015 first-round pick. Okay, a couple quick Tigers articles here. By the way, Miguel Cabrera is scheduled to have a checkup on his foot this a bit later this week. I'll point out another example. One of the articles points out an example of why the starting rotation is actually improving, regardless, despite Max Scherzer leaving the team. It's about David Price, written by Elizabeth Conley of the Detroit News, titled "Recharge Price back, quote, back where I need to be," quote unquote. A little extra time away from weight rooms and baseball fields has apparently done David Price some good. He said, quote, I took a good time off this year just to let my body recharge. It feels good now. I'm right back to where I need to be," unquote. He said Friday after throwing his second bullpen session of the week. He's mentally refreshed as well. As he said during Tiger Fest last month, the 2014 season was the most emotionally draining of his young career. He said, quote, "It was the longest year I've had in the big leagues. It was the most stressful with the rumors of being traded, then being traded and adjusting to a new environment. So I took some time off. I felt like that was the biggest thing I needed to do, was just to reset," unquote. He took close to 2 months off before he went back to his alma mater, Vanderbilt, and started his normal off-season program. He's been in Lakeland all week. Pitchers and catchers aren't scheduled to report until this Thursday. He said, quote, "I'm in the weight room every day and I'm throwing every day. I throw 2 bullpens a week, just getting my body ready to go," unquote. Price, at age 29, who was 4-4 with a 3.59 ERA and a 1.146 WHIP, walks and hits per innings pitch in 11 starts after being traded to the Tigers last July 31st, will be a free agent after this season. He said he fully expects the Tigers to begin negotiating a contract extension with his agent Bo McInnes, but if talks have begun, he is not aware of it. He said, quote, "I have no idea. If my agent calls and tells me, that's when I will hear something. It's more in the Tigers' court than ours. It's more in their court than ours. If they haven't initiated talks, I'm sure they will at some point," unquote. The Tigers were in a similar situation with Max Scherzer last offseason. The Tigers tried to work out a deal prior to the start of the season, and once Scherzer declined their $144 million offer, they cut off negotiations during the season. Price would prefer not to have to deal with lingering contract negotiations during the season either. He said, quote, I just don't want it to be a problem with anything else. I want to have a clear conscience every 5 days where I'm out there and be able to answer questions about the present. Unquote. There won't be any distraction or added pressure, he said, if the talks were to get tabled until after the season. He said, quote, that's all right, I understand that side of baseball. That's a side a lot of people don't get to see a whole lot and aren't familiar with what really goes on. I'm just going to take my time, continue to prepare and get ready for the season. If something happens, awesome, unquote. That was actually written by Chris McCoskey. Follow him on Twitter at CMC Koski. C. McCoskey. The other article I wanted to read was Castellanos must improve on defense this season from the Detroit Free Press. The rookie third baseman from Anthony Fenich. Castellanos worked on his whole game this offseason. He said, quote, I can improve every single aspect of my game. He told MLB Network Radio this afternoon, quote, I can improve every single aspect of my game, so it's not like there was one aspect. I'm good there, so I'm just going to focus my game here. I think I've done a good job paying attention to every aspect of it, unquote. But the Tigers made sure he paid attention to his defense at third base. Last week, Castellanos said he spent 4 days in Lubbock, Texas, with defensive coordinator Matt Martin working on his footwork, most specifically his first step and quickness at the hot corner. Castellanos said, quote, he's a very good defensive teacher. He works hard and loves to get his guys better, unquote. Castellanos said he's taken a lot of ground balls this offseason and worked on a lot of footwork-related drills in order to improve defensively. Last season, he ranked as the worst defensive third baseman in the major leagues in defensive runs saved, -30, and ultimate zone rating, -18.4. And while those numbers should garner some leeway, it was Castellanos' first year back at third base after transitioning to the outfield for a year and a half in the minor leagues, and third base is a hard position to play as is. They should see some improvement in 2015, or his future there could be in question. Castellanos' range numbers should improve this season with the addition of a healthy Jose Iglesias at shortstop, allowing him to cheat towards the baseline a bit more. Who wouldn't, quote unquote, who wouldn't be excited to play next to Jose? And his offensive numbers could take a jump as well. He hit .259 in his rookie season with 11 home runs and 66 RBIs. He used all fields, and 36% of his 138 hits went for extra bases. Castellanos, who turns 24 in March, will wind down his offseason in Lakeland. Castellanos, who turns 24 in March, will wind down his offseason in Lakeland when he arrives on Sunday. He said, quote, it's been really good, kind of short, but it's been a lot of fun, unquote. You can email him afenich@freepress.com and follow him on Twitter at Anthony Fenich. One final thing I want to get to. Back to basketball in the pros. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, the shooting guard for our Detroit Pistons, Had a very rough performance in Friday's BBVA Rising Stars Challenge as Team USA lost 121 to 112 to whoever. To doesn't say here. Caldwell-Pope scored just 8 points on 3 of 15 shooting overall. His teammate Trey Burke scored 17. Plays for the Utah Jazz. They were beaten by the World team, led by Andrew Wiggins, who scored Wiggins with 22 points, double-doubles by Janice Antetokounmpo with 12 points and 10 rebounds. Rudy Gobert, 18 points, 12 rebounds, and a near double-double by Dennis Schroeder with 13 points and 9 assists. The USA team was led by 22 points each from Victor Oladipo of the Magic and Zach LaVine of the Timberwolves. Zach LaVine won the 2015 NBA Slam Dunk Contest, as some of you had seen on TNT. Beating Victor Oladipo 2 dunks to 1. But the Pistons still have a tough schedule ahead after a long time off. They play home against the Chicago Bulls at the Palace of Auburn Hills Friday at 7:30 on Fox Sports Detroit and the new Detroit Sports 105.1. Hopefully, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope plays better than he did in that Rising Stars Challenge game. That's going to do it for Taylor's Detroit Sports episode 138. Want to thank everybody for downloading and listening live, even though nobody called in. You can catch all my episodes on Spreaker and iHeartRadio. I will schedule an episode a bit later tonight at 11 p.m. on Blog Talk Radio. Then I'll talk to you again a bit later this week back here on Spreaker. TTFN, ta-ta for now.
I think we can close the logo now.